Yep, it's that time of the life again. Packing up, going back to Minnesota for a little bit. I've been here for 3 months building the company. Lots happened in the last 3 months. Probably the lowest point in my entrepreneurial career, but it's close. Today we're gonna drive across the country. We're gonna learn a lot. I'm gonna talk to all of you guys about the experience, what we learned, some of the things that are going well and some of the things that are going awful in building a landscaping company. Thanks for keeping me company in this episode of the Mason Gang. I honestly made it just in the nick of time. I have a meeting in 7 minutes, and I was literally sprinting up and down the stairs to get all of this stuff in here. Knock out a quote looking a little homeless in a super fancy neighborhood. I'm sure that's gonna leave some questions. This place is awesome. We're giving him a quote for doing a path. So he's got tiles here. He's got a different tile here. Concrete up top. I'm just trying to get an idea of what the different styles are, because he didn't end up showing up, so I want to just figure out what we would end up doing. So he's got another mixed stone here, and then I'm assuming he said that he wanted a new path, so I'm assuming it's coming down here. So he's got big pieces of flagstone and plenty of trees in the way. So he's got one path that goes off of the bedroom, runs down this edge, and goes to that gate. So that's one spot. And then he's got another path, comes down along this corner of the house, runs off of here, it runs to this gate. So there's one that comes off to one patio and then another one that comes off. Yeah, another makeshift material here that runs along the side of the house. You can see this runs here. And they got themselves a drain tile or sump pump. I don't know what that is, or septic. And this one runs down along this edge. It comes all the way around and it stops at this riprap. And the reality is, it could keep going probably. And they could have it go all the way around this corner at about 4 feet wide. So I don't know what he wants done, but I just wanted to take a peek. But guys, this is like my favorite neighborhood in the valley, and everything's just desert-scaped. So I must say, when Ashley and I move out here for 5 to 6 months out of the year, this is where we will be living. It is my favorite spot. Huge score. Let's start driving. Dang, that's pretty. My boy that we're meeting with just called me back. It just happens sometimes. He just called back and said, sorry, this house is pretty big. And I couldn't hear the doorbell, so I was down in the workout room. Pretty good excuse. I mean, I wish I could call people and say that was the reason why I didn't come to the door. Can't blame them. Anyone that goes to a nice house and then you go home and complain, or you say that person doesn't deserve it, or that's unfair, or you should go over the top, tax the rich. Sorry, that's my own personal thing. Guys, you have to remember, most people did it ethically, and most people worked really hard to create something that created enough value where they got paid. So they worked really hard to create something valuable enough for all of these other people in the world where they were able to afford their own big house and their cool items. And I don't think we should ever judge that. I think we should be happy for them. Like, I'm happy for them. I'm not where they're at, but I mean, that's awesome to see that that's what you can do in this country. You can work really hard and then get paid what you're worth. And I mean, the government's going to take some of it, but at least they don't take all of it. Talk about a change in weather, huh? I'm only 84 miles in, and we got ourselves some snow. This is going to be quite the journey, going from desert to freezing cold home. It is so pretty here though. I know I've done this in every video, but man, northern Arizona is so gorgeous. Someday, when we're not trying really hard to build a business every single second of our life, definitely gonna have to explore them, because this is spectacular. Made some pretty solid progress. This here is actually Albuquerque at night, and it's just crazy to think that there's all of these random big cities across the country that you don't even think about. It is 8:25, and look at that temperature change. One thing that people probably don't realize, all these truckers, they just keep our country going. Like, I can think about all these guys that are moving stuff every day, all night. I mean, just look at the trucks on the side of the road. All these guys getting ready to sleep for the night. It's so many trucks. This is like one of many stops. Like, this is everywhere around here. So I'm actually just getting to my ending point for the night, 11:30, conducting a couple meetings here in the morning. So I'm actually gonna be here until like 12 o'clock tomorrow. So that's why it's gonna take me 3 days to get home, which is a rarity. This is where we're staying tonight. As I sit here, not a bad room for the middle of, where am I? New Mexico. I'm actually just wrapping up the night. I'm sending out a couple of quotes that need to be fixed because I talked to them on the road today. Either way, I gotta finish this. Stop bothering me. I'll see you in the morning. Awake, alive. Look at that view back there. This is the office for the next couple of hours, but I'm already late for my meeting, so I need to go. Excited, couple of annual meetings. Ooh, so excited to plan for the year. It's about 12 o'clock. Still need to eat something. By the time I pack up, eat, get gas, we're probably on the road at like 12:30ish. So my goal is to get to Kansas. 10 hours, 12 hours. I don't know. It's gonna be snowy. This has definitely gotta be a rarity. And we're in Texas. You can see little snippets of snow. 12 degrees. That is frigid. And it's windy. I must say, I'm pretty bundled up in the car because I'm just thinking like, man, as we go further and further north, it is gonna be so cold. Even this morning in New Mexico, by this morning, I mean this afternoon, I guess. Even this afternoon in New Mexico when I got gas, it was like 25 and it felt like I was freezing. That's how soft I've become. Gosh, I'm soft now. I don't know if you guys see that cop up there, but you can see in my mirror. There, that mirror. Couple of cops. Yeah, police chase. A car just flew by. Freaking craziness. Speed limit's maybe 30 miles per hour. Jeep flies through at least going 100. Yeah, and right after them, it's just cop after cop after cop. It's been another 30 miles, and I just saw a cop race out from down there. But yeah, I mean, kind of surprised after 30 miles, haven't seen anything yet. You see more cops and cops and cops. And there's a lot of cops up there. What a good life lesson here on the road. Don't try to outrun cops. They're gonna do their job because luckily they're good at their job. And yeah, but this is a lot of cops, so I don't really want to intrude, so I'm gonna turn this off. I'll let you know what happens. Okay, so I mean, I couldn't get a ton of information because I was just driving by, and but it looks like they popped. It was a Jeep that went by. It's like they burst all of his tires, so he was running on all flats. They clearly already had him out of the car and in a cop car to be arrested. But yeah, the Jeep was totaled. Yeah, that's what you get. Don't run from the cops. Stupid. I mean, how many people actually run and get away with it? Does anyone? I don't know. Seems like a lot of people like the idea of running, but how many? Does it ever actually work? That's a good question, Bobby. 11:59. There it is. We're in before the 12 o'clock bell. I just pulled out my computer. I'm going to send out a few quotes tonight. So my wife actually booked me to this hotel because she's the sweetest. I share my location the minute she finds me a hotel. Here I am outside of Kansas City. It's snowy. It's cold. The real temperature outside right now is 12 below. Definitely chilly. We got one more day of driving left. I'm gonna go work for a little bit and we'll run this back one more time tomorrow and we're gonna get back to Minnesota. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there, Mason Gang. Thank you for keeping me sane. We made it. Made it through another cold night here. So not a bad hotel, I must say. The camera gets, I shouldn't do that. Yeah, definitely a frigid night here. Man, when it's this cold, I feel like you could sleep forever. It's so cozy. Just want to go to bed. No, I'm kidding, but I'm not. I'm really not. I'm just happy she drove this morning. Jeez, look at how cold it is. Yeah, 10 below. Old Betsy didn't love that. This is the first time she's ever endured this cold. Started slow. She was struggling to shift gears. She didn't want to almost turn on this morning in the parking lot, but she came to life. She did her job. So we're on the road. You know, when you drive across the country, you get 25 hours in the car every once in a while. It's a long time. It's a lot longer than you think, especially when you're by yourself. You have a lot of time to think, a lot of time to you have time to perform an inner monologue and search inside of yourself, kind of get a good idea of where you're at, what's going on. My parents offered to drive back for me, but I kind of needed this time to decompress before getting home, because when I'm gone, I mean, I'll work 16 to 18 hours a day just because we need it right now. Like, that's what we need to get Three Timbers up and running properly and get us where we need to be. And frankly, like, the last 3 months that I spent down in Arizona, and I've had some solid breaks in between. I went to Cayman, I went to Hawaii, which was an absolute blessing on both sides. But when actually working on the company, it's been bad. Like, we've really struggled this year down there. And like, this winter is no better. We have been working our tails off, meeting with people, getting them landscape designs, everything, and just deal after deal keeps falling through. I mean, we just made an offer to an HOA, and they said that we were their favorite company. Like, they worked with us for 3 weeks to get this thing up and running so we could take care of their HOA. And they went to their board, and then they informed their old company that they're moving on to us. The old company responded with, well, we'll knock off half of the price for you. So we were gonna charge $800 to have a couple guys there for a full day. They changed their price to $400 for several guys there a full day. We would essentially, I mean, at that price, we'd probably be paying for every hour a guy worked. We would physically be losing $15 to $20 every hour, every man hour on the site. So it's just like, it's really hard for us right now there, and we're getting to a point where we're like, can we even survive in Arizona? Is it a place we want to be? So yeah, lots of thinking there, and then long drives are almost like little retreats where you're alone with yourself, looking at the country and also thinking. So let's keep driving then. Hey guys, we did it. Minnesota, we're back after a 2-day journey. We have made it, and let's look at the difference in weather here, huh? Zach, let's take a peek. Started with the desert. Now look at that. That's all ice, by the way. But that's open water still, surprisingly. So, wow, talk about a change. You're ruining my video. Okay, so thanks for traveling across the country with me. It means the world. I really appreciate all of you guys. You keep me entertained. She appreciates you too. That's it. I'll see you in the next episode of the Mason Gang. I love each and every one of you.